Hey guys, we are live again. I am so excited. Today I have another special guest for our WIN community, but this time we're doing a speaker as a guest for our garden party. Here in Atlanta, we have our first ever garden party we're going to be doing. It's so exciting for me because as a woman, especially as a woman entrepreneur, I like to be independent in everything I do. And so gardening and planting my own food, that got me really excited. But the event is not just about food, it's about going from seed to success. And so we're going to be talking about your ideas. We're going to talk about all the things in our life that we need to focus on, including wellness and also nutrition. I have Natasha Jonelle. Did I say it right?
Jonelle. Okay.
Jonelle.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it together, y'all. So, welcome Natasha InWin members, supporters. Let her know how much you love her by giving her some hearts in the comments. But, Natasha, please introduce yourself. Let us know who you are before we get into this beautiful conversation about what you're going to be bringing to the garden party.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, Allegra. Again, as she stated, my name is Natasha Jonelle. I am in the Augusta metro area. I'm in a town called Blythe, Georgia. And here I have a farm here. And just doing some growing, produce, herbs, fruits, things of that nature, and very excited for this grow season because I've expanded my grow area with some help, and so very excited about that. Um, I have a business currently named Ruby's Pearls All Natural Products, and I do create all natural products to help with different types of ailments, and I also offer services as well. It's all about mind, body, and spirit alignment. So I am really big about health and wellness. And yeah, that's pretty much a wrap up.
That's a little bit about Natasha. Janelle. Jonelle. I'm going to get it right. Jonelle.
Janelle.
Janelle. Yeah,
Mhm.
please, yeah, Janelle. Y'all know how you got to say it like 15 times to get it right? So
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to keep
tell
doing it.
you the
Janelle.
same thing for years. My mom would correct me on how to pronounce my name, and growing up, they just called me Janelle. There's no A in my name nowhere, but everybody called me Janelle, and my grandmother would call me Johnelle. My dad's name is Johnny, right? And so years, my mom just kind of tapped out when it was, teach my name, and she just called her Natasha, just call her Natasha. And I was like, but I prefer Janelle. Like I preferred the name at the time, Janelle. And then really embracing the correct pronunciation of my name, which is Janelle. I made it my business to teach people how to pronounce my name properly.
I love that. How many times have y'all gone through that with your names? I mean, I can't even, I'm not going to talk about mine. But thank you for breaking that down because it's true. Like we do have to kind of identify ourselves. I love how you kind of leaned into that. We're going to talk about this a little bit more too because you're one of our speakers at the garden party, y'all. Shout out Natasha. I've known Natasha, aka Tasha, for a while. Okay, so it's not like I have just met her. I've known her for years, and
Over 10
in and
years.
out. Yes, in and out.
Yeah.
Just and I love the fact that when we reconnected over business, like we were just like, oh, what's going on, right? And
Hmm.
I was like, hey, girl, yeah, we haven't talked in years. And I love the fact that now I'm getting to know you more and you can actually do like exactly what you're talking about. Like, let me reintroduce myself. Like, my name is Natasha
Absolutely.
Jonelle. And I think we do that in our healing and our growing and all the things that we become throughout our lives. So tell me about who Natasha Jonelle is. You told me what you do as far as, pretty much, your business and Ruby's Pearls. And I know a little bit about you, but, tell us about you as far as like some of your journey. Cause I know that you recently, started talking about herb bars, herbal tea bars. You started talking about certain wellness and nutrition within the way that we take care of our body. Tell me a little bit about
Absolutely.
the journey and what you've been learning over the few years that have brought you to this point today.
Well, So who am I? I am just, I'm a spirit. You know, I am a very free spirit, and I love this space of freedom and just simply living. My journey in the healing process, learning process, and even how it instilled the values to go in this direction in business came from me and my body with dis-ease, um with mental health, spiritual health, sexual health, my physical body as well. Just learning the things that I needed to become a better version of myself. And I started, with herbs, messing around with herbs, figuring out what would help me for what I needed. And in that particular time in my life, I identified anxiety, depression. I had a lot of trauma that I was in the midst of in a relationship, and growing up as a young child, and those things, and having or not having that knowledge, that ignorance, whether it's an intentional ignorance or unintentional ignorance. I was ignorant. I just didn't know, you know. And just taking that space and wanting to learn more and needing to learn more, overhearing my children one day thinking I was going to die. Like, that was just like a huge wake up for me. Like, what? They think I'm gonna die? I'm hurting, but I'm here. It didn't look like that. And really slowing down and getting a sense of awareness and understanding about where I was, and where I want to go and where I wanted to go. And yeah, so I started learning more, started reading more, being intentional about my choices, being present, and bringing those things that I learned and making it a part of my everyday lifestyle. So, I've done training as a holistic health and wellness practitioner, neurolinguistics programming, which is how the brain receives language. Um, well, energy and boundary, that was so huge for me. Um, Energy and boundary was so huge. Learning what my energy looked like and how to interpret others' energy, and learn how to observe energy versus absorb the energy. It was quite the space for me. And then I also took it further, and I got certified holistic herbalism. Um, yeah, so I have more certifications, but just that's the gist of it. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
She's giving y'all a little taste because Natasha Jonelle will be speaking at the garden party. And, I love the fact that we get to pull this out early just to talk about some of the things that people can experience while they're here, while they're there at this fireside chat, speaking with you about your experience and all the things you just went over. Something you said, there's a few things you said that really caught me. And that's why I'm like, this is going to be so good, y'all, because Natasha is not only, I like Black women farmer status. Okay. Cause if you look at where she is, she's outside, baby. Okay. So she has
I
all this
am.
land and all this stuff going on that, sometimes we just don't know what's going on, right? So get connected to the people that are in our community, our WIN members like Natasha, because that's your connection to spaces and communities that you don't even know that exist. Like I was in one of
Absolutely.
your Zoom meetings and you had like all these other farmers in there, and I was like, whoa, like I didn't even know these people existed. So you have to be connected to the right people. So thank you for saying a couple things. I just want to pull it out before I ask you a question, just so
Okay.
our audience can just drop their questions if they have any, because we all experience the same things when it comes to life. When our emotions are involved, like we all experience loss and we all experience grief and all these things. And when you said your kids said, "Mom, I don't want you to die," like that had to, I mean, I know that had to been a pivotal moment, and you said it. And I think that that is something that from a kid's point of view or anyone's point of view from the outside looking in, you're always seeing things differently. And you even said it here, you said it didn't look like that, like
Right.
like for you, tell us a little bit more
Right.
about that, because I want to pull out some of those situations where maybe a lot of women in business, we experience burnout because we're not taking care of our bodies. We're not being well. What have you learned from that experience that you want to share with people today that you think can support them?
The biggest thing for me is perspective. Because like I stated, for me, I didn't look at it, and I didn't see myself in that space, right? My kids see me, and it was something I overheard them. They didn't even come to me and say that. It was something that I overheard and listening to them. And it was at a point in my life where I guess it could have looked like I had given up because I was laying in the bed a lot and I was just in pain a lot. And again, I didn't know. Um, and maybe even at that time in my life, I didn't choose to know, because that even being this was literally maybe about 8 years ago. Oh goodness, that means I've known you longer than that, about over 16 years. Goodness. Okay, yeah, sidetrack. Anyway, um so yeah, so that had to be like about 7 years ago. And so just being in that space and learning to slow down and be present and having that sense of awareness, because fast tracked a couple years later after I started, just taking those steps for myself and learning what I need to do and how to be present. I sat down with my children and my immediate family, and I have 3 children that I gave birth to and 4 bonus children, so 7 kids, and then my ex-husband. And tell me about me. How do you see me? And I need to learn more about their perspective of how I looked in their life, and taking that with grace, right? And seeing and hearing, I don't, whether I agree or disagree, that's their perspective. So overall, learning what that perspectives look different for everyone, and even in the space of what wellness looks like and what health looks like mentally. For me, it's being present. Back then I would find myself living in my mind a lot, and I didn't realize that. I didn't even know that that was a thing for me, right? And even now, when I find myself overthinking and having that space, I'll start to breathe and I'll start to touch and I'll move. Sometimes I'll sing, or I'll go outside and I'll walk the property. And it's just to bring myself present again. Because only in the present moment, I say all the time, is where you find your gifts. And in that space is how you deal with anxieties. That space is how you deal with depression, and how you become aware of where you are, even at life and choices that you made, being able to have those reflections and move forward. So pretty much to answer your question, all of that, all of that in is tied into that perspective of then and moving forward to now, and which is my biggest thing, is all about perspective and emotional intelligence as well. That's very huge. Very huge.
Wow, that is man. Listen, I'm back here just blown away because you're giving so much wisdom. And I think, like, just when you learn from a lot of your experiences, you can do that. Like, you can say, okay, went through that, challenges.
Hmm.
And when you said perspective looks different for everyone, I put that up on the screen because I was like, wow, that's so true. It is. And that's why you have to allow people to live in their reality. Like, it's okay for you and it's
Absolutely.
okay for me. I think we had a
Absolutely.
conversation about that recently. Like, listen, like,
Absolutely.
it's okay for people to have differences. I'm so
Absolutely.
curious about a couple things. I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know if the audience has questions for you. Um, Alchemy says the present is the future. A new life can and will cost you your old one. Amen. Amen. Like, period. So you said observing energy versus absorbing energy. I do want you to break that down for us because I think that is so important.
Oh,
Okay.
absorbing. Yeah, absolutely. Like we're all infinite beings. Everything is energy, right? And just being in the presence of people, we all walk again in our own perspectives, our own realities, and according to what that looks like is the type of energy that we're holding. And you can be in the presence of someone, and by touch, eye contact, is so many ways to transfer energy to other people. And for me, and why I dove so deep into energy, I realized a space of vulnerability when you're sleeping next to your spouse. Um and again, that's the most vulnerable space for you is your space of sleep, because how are you protecting yourself and when you're sleeping? And if your spouse wakes up and they're in a space, and you're of course you're going to feel that energy, right? And sometimes I later in my past life, I would kind of just embrace and move within that energy. And then I realized, why do I feel like I don't feel like this? Like, why am I feeling like this? And I started to slow down and be still. It was meditation. And I was really learning, like, wait a minute, like, that's not my energy though. That's someone else's energy. I don't like that energy. And I started taking it far beyond that, like being outside and just being in different spaces with people, because it's also a great thing to be around a lot of other energies, because you need that in your life as a spirit, as a being, again, as an infinite being. We're all energy, and we need to be around each other, being able to transfer energy to trees to help pull out negative energy or low vibrational energy that's in the body, taking off my shoes and walking my land, being able to ground and put my hands in the dirt when I'm out harvesting or planting, being able to transfer that energy, because we are from Earth, we are part of Mother Earth. And yeah, and being able to transfer that cleanse energy, and also pour back in and charge that energy up, and these things help with that as well. So yeah, observing my own energy, you know what I'm saying? My brain sometimes, it's a lot of me up in my brain, like all of the past versions of myself, we up here too. And some of those homegirls up there, she's like this. She's not a part of my present moment, but I get to observe that energy that I got going on, because these thoughts don't come for nothing. She's still up here, you know. I don't absorb the energy. I do observe it, and there's such a a beautiful space of learning, always being able to learn. And I said many times, I can be a teacher in so many different spaces. And in those same spaces, I'm going to be an immaculate student because I love to learn.
I feel like we're getting a little mini TED talk today. Thank you, Natasha. That was so good. I mean, it was so good. I'm writing down a lot of notes because as we're preparing for the garden party, y'all, and if you're in Atlanta, please get your tickets, because yesterday someone just grabbed like 5 tickets. I don't know what to tell y'all. It's just an amazing opportunity for us to come together as we are listening to the speakers like Natasha, who's going to be bringing, obviously, all of her experience. You're bringing an herbal tea bar. You're bringing all of your services that you provide, because not only do you help us in wellness and nutrition, but you have products that you're constantly putting out there in the market for people and their healing, not just, internally, but, their body, right?
Absolutely.
I have some of her products, y'all. They work so good. And I just think, like, when you talk about the grounding and you being out in nature, and it just reminds me of this whole concept from seed to success, planting, harvesting, from anything in your life. Everything takes time. Healing takes
Absolutely.
time. But it has to start from somewhere. That seed that has been planted in so many areas of our life. For you, Natasha, as you and Alchemy said, beautiful, absolutely. As you're talking about it, there were so many little seeds that I'm listening to get planted, from your children to, people around you, and just you yourself. Like, wait, this is not me. Like, this is not who I
Right.
am. I don't know who this
Right.
person is. And those little avenues and those little awakenings for us. Thank you for explaining the observing energy versus absorbing, because I'm going to take that to the bank. I would love for you to explain more about that at the meetup. Okay. What do
Absolutely.
you think about, because you're talking about nature and grounding and slowing down, I heard you say,
Absolutely.
but what about those other people in us? Like you just said, right? We don't never just disappear. They be there.
Absolutely.
But who's going to have the last say? What do you think about that strong woman syndrome that pops up when we have to be okay all the time? Or or maybe we going through something traumatic, like we see a lot of women go through divorces and deaths, and a lot of different traumatic situations, and then they're like, "Ooh, gotta go to work. I gotta
Absolutely.
go through my business, and I gotta do A, B, and C. I gotta do my marketing funnel. I gotta do my website. I gotta do my clients." What do you say to women who are so busy in that way? Because we know we're doing it, but it's like we don't really catch it. And like you said, like how you said you were living in your head a lot. I think that's what we're
Mhm.
doing. What kind of advice do you have for that?
Well, my first thing is therapy. A therapist is your best friend. Legally, they can't tell none of your business unless you out here trying to kill yourself or somebody. So please don't do that, right? Therapy is number one. Having and access to just talk through things, and it be a safe space to talk through. But we can have friends and family all day, right? Um, and I can trust and respect, and just know that your friend got a friend and your family member has someone else that I'm sure that they may pour into to release as well. And in space with a therapist, you also have the opportunity to get lessons from learn experience, from resources that they've learned, and without it being any type of emotional connection there. When we talk to our family members and things of that, you know we got some type of emotional skin in the game. And so a lot of people will speak from that space versus just teaching you from the lessons learned. We all want to relate by experiences, and experiences get you too caught up in surface level things, because the whole while is it may look similar. The whole point is for me to grow in this space, not for me to talk about shit that don't exist no, and getting caught up there can lead us into even deeper, darker places. you know um Being able to understand what's important for you. You're important. A strong woman is what without the actual strength of being herself and taking care of herself and being present with herself. Everybody in our life benefits when we take care of ourselves. And so that's enough for you to simply take care of yourself and enjoy the benefits of doing that, because right off jump, everybody that you're thinking about and your reason why you're doing all these things that you're doing is like, two birds one stone type thing, and sprinkles with adding just what you need for yourself. That part feels good, as also knowing that we are the example. We're leading by example, doing things the healthiest way possible that we know how, and each day becoming a better version of ourselves. Taking in and looking at, I always say, when we make time for what's important all the time, you will make time for what you truly feel is important. Forget everything else that you think that you're going to put in front of yourself. Simple as that. It starts with you. Life starts with woman. Life starts with woman. So why are we choosing to pour into so many other things and then forget about ourselves? And then when we crash and burn, Then we want to look around and be the victim. Well, such and such wasn't here for me, and I was there for them. And well, home girl, you here by yourself. You're in this world. You came into this world alone. Even if you came in, attached, to another being, like the Siamese twins, you still came out the canal by yourself, essentially, right? You're here alone, and we have to be okay with with that. We're never lonely, and it's okay to be the individual. Take care of yourself first, and that will teach our family to take care of themselves first. It's okay to be what they call selfish. That's okay. It's okay. If somebody tell you that it ain't okay and they got a problem with you being selfish, that's a them problem, and I don't think you should worry about it. Like, that ain't none of your business. I'm huge on that too. I like to mind my business. Me, mind the business of me. That's it.
I'm cracking up because I love Natasha is so witty to me. I love it when she just kind of throws it in there. And when you said that that's a them problem, I think that sometimes we do need to adapt that attitude. Y'all, make sure you get your tickets. I put it in the comments for YouTube, but I put it in on Facebook as well. Um, and LinkedIn. I want you guys to kind of start connecting with speakers before the events happen because everything you're talking about is so relatable. Like just being able to take the pressure off of ourselves and not be so dependent to be strong all the time and to do the things because people have the expectations of us. Um, I love how you even are talking about life starts with women. And there's so many debates about this, y'all. We could talk all day about it. But the point is that,
Absolutely.
okay, the point is that you're right. I think that there's a level of dependency that women have when we're not taking control of our own power, right? Because we literally give life. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can have that argument all day, but we have so many examples of women, giving birth, raising children, and doing all the work and without the help. And it's not that it's necessarily a wanted thing, but it's
Right.
something that women have been doing. And so we
Right.
have to kind of sometimes let go of the pressure, let go of that I have to, and that's expected. I want you to talk a little bit more about some of the challenges that you feel people may struggle through, especially when it comes to them and their business. You've been a business owner for how long?
For, well, 5 years now. 5 years now.
Do you feel like you've gone through like a lot of challenges, or has it been like real smooth selling? Like you've been using all of your advice to measure and it's just been working for you? Like, how's that ride been? Any challenges?
Well, I say experiences and opportunities, right?
Yes.
Because it's always an opportunity to learn, so not necessarily a challenge coming into business. And at the time, I was learning, and so I took the transition out of corporate America, um and to come into the business full time. And starting off, there was two businesses. There was the farm and there was the multimedia business, and just hitting the ground running and learning along the way. You know, I would. It, it sailed how it needed to sail. I don't want to say it was smooth. There was some bumps in the road. At that time, I was also in a marriage. And so having the personal and then the business come and knock each other in the head sometimes, it that was an experience all by itself. You're gonna have to go and sit down and make sure you grab your ticket to listen to that, because what we're not going to do is go into all of that right now. I will say, having resources that are available, like here, the local Black Chamber of Commerce of Augusta, Georgia, was an amazing resource. Allegra, your business, major resource. and guiding with marketing, and things and how to get some stuff done, because that was a huge help and a push that I was doing when it came to products and workshops that were going on here, and the podcast that we were doing back then. And a lot of those things came from what I learned working with you. And so just having those community resources that are available, dealing with the farm. There's a group down here called Augusta Locally Grown, ran by Karen Gordon. Amazing. Like she is like a walking resource access into how she keeps everyone informed and plugged in. So always full of information and willing to learn. Again, you can teach all day, but you have to be willing to be a student at all times. And and coming into business, just willing to learn, put yourself out there, be transparent. Look, sometimes I remember talking, look, I need help. I remember talking to you, telling you, look, I need help. I don't know what, like, I gotta figure this out. Because at the same time of doing business, there's also, again, the business of you. And I was doing the business of me, and having to learn to find that balance. That is huge. When you coming out of corporate America, where you're on someone else's schedule, and then you sit here and you got all of these moments that you have to make a decision to move forward. It's so easy to get in a space of no movement. Or when you're moving, it's like you going in circles. What are you really getting done? Learning to put those goals down, putting that pen to paper, seeing your vision rolled out, and actually checking those goals off as you go. Structure yourself, put yourself into a schedule until you find what your new vibe is, and how what your new flow is. My biggest thing is, I don't want to control shit. I don't want to control nothing. I want to flow, because in that space of flow, I am destined to be aligned with everything that's for me. And this journey is going to look and feel all kinds of ways. It is okay. Be present, and just always know you're divinely guided, and it is your journey. So even if it stings, it burns, it's got a sharp pain that come with it, it's also going to feel good, and it's going to be exciting, and you're going to have that feeling in the bottom of your stomach, and you get to choose whether it's fear or excitement. I chose excitement, because to me, they felt the same at the bottom of my stomach. I just got my perspective allowed me to view it in the energy that I wanted in my journey, and how I align myself. And I align myself with excitement. So it feel all kind of ways when I was learning and going through business, and working the business of me, and figuring out um that personal and business space of being in a relationship and children, and now a grandbaby. Like, all of that stuff was a part of my life at one time. At one time. And that's the life of a woman. That is the life of a woman. We take on, and we learn, and we maneuver, and we do life in so many, many, many different aspects. And so when you come into full time, even if you're not full time and part time and working for yourself, and as you transition out corporate America, start on that process of just finding balance, working your balance, flowing, figuring out what your flow looks like. And your resources and your support are going to be there exactly how they're supposed to be there. And if there's any tension on where you got to force, or you got to do an extra push, or more like a pull to get what you need, then that also needs to take a space for you to sit back and evaluate, reevaluate, reflect on who you have around you, and figure out what about your energy is pulling this around you. Because again, it always goes back to self. People gonna do whatever they gonna do. Why they with you, and why are you allowing it in your space?
That's a real hard pill to swallow. I'm just going to put that out there because I had to have that come to Jesus moment for myself, and still to this day. Okay. And so you're right, we attract who we are. And I love how you're breaking it all down. So I think we've gotten to know Natasha a little bit, y'all. Drop hearts. I think we got to know her just a little bit because,
That's
we do have
awesome.
to, know who our community members are. Natasha, you are one of our selected members to come speak. So it's not like you didn't come with the expertise and the work. Like, you have been doing the work. I want to talk about the work. I want to talk about the results of that work. So you have gone through the balance that you talked about, the decision
Hmm.
making process, and some of the lessons learned. So now, where are you at with the amazing things that you're offering? Let's talk about those things that people can actually benefit when they work with you. So I know you talked about. Well, I have your cream. Yeah, she has pain cream. I still have it, y'all. It's been years. Okay, I still have the cream. Okay, and it's so good because I remember you were talking about how if I had certain things going on with my body, that it would help relieve pain. I was like,
Right.
okay, I'm gonna try it. Y'all, I swear, I put it on my back. Like, you know how you have like a little like area that's giving you a little soreness? I put it on a part of my back and it started tingling a little bit. And I was like, okay, it's like medicine. So can you tell us a little bit about the amazing things that you have produced and how they have helped people?
Absolutely. So yes, essentially it's nature's medicine. Everything that comes from the ground, is our med is nature's medicine and care, from herbs to the food that we eat. I've created well, you're talking about, I think you have WAP. So WAP is a pain and inflammation cream. It also provides a stimulation for the woman's vaginal canal. So if there's pain during intercourse, you can put it inside the vaginal walls, and it'll help ease that pain during intercourse. And it also can be applied on the shaft of the male as well to extend that special time for you as well. And you can also apply it on
She's
the
telling all
body.
the secrets, y'all.
Absolutely. And all and also you can apply it on, on any areas, and it's localized to wherever you having that pain. You rub it on the area and it will help with that pain and inflammation. I do have a cream that's specifically for pain and inflammation, and that one is called Release. And Release is my number one seller. Um, where WAP can go inside of the body and it can be ingested and internalized, Release, I do not suggest that be internalized. And just keep it locally to the areas that are on the outside of the body that have the pain and inflammation. And I have all types of clients, with that particular one. Clients that have issues with that bone on bone, with the knee pain, torn ligaments, muscle spasm, sciatic nerve pain, neuropathy, arthritis. I mean, the list goes on. Even things that my clients have called me and said, "Oh, we had the flu and COVID or something was going on. We rubbed Release on our chest." Really? Okay, I didn't see that, but okay, that does work, and it helped with break up the mucus in the chest, whereas I would have given you some of my tea and, hey, try the immunity, it'll help break up the mucus in the chest, or try the lung maintenance tea, those types of things, where they're taking the creams and they're using those. So I say all that, say I have tea blends as well. Also, I have an oral healthcare line with a rinse and an oil pulling. I do specialize and make things for people. So if you have an appointment with me and there's something that you need specifically, I will create products for people. You can find all of my products on glowformsblythe.org. Website is currently under construction until we transition. My business has since grown from Gloria Manor Organics Farms to which has closed, and now it's just Ruby's Pearls, all natural products. And so I also offer services, health and wellness, holistic health and wellness coaching, and I also do guided meditations.
Man, this is a whole experience. This is like, and just imagine, do you invite clients onto your land, or are you just, doing this virtually? Like, how do people experience you?
Both. You can experience both ways. We can do it virtually. I do have clients that are outside of Georgia, so of course virtually. And then, clients need to come out to the property or would like to come out and have an in-person session. I do those as well. And just have different spaces where I sit and just be with them. And sometimes it may even take them just to be here on the property and they may just need that space. And, I offer that space as well. It's a safe space. It's a space of growth. It's a space of healing.
That's beautiful. See, it's not, and it's so I think the last time I Googled it, I was like, you're like an hour and a half, almost about 2 hours away from me, which
Mm-hmm.
isn't bad because I travel an hour for food, y'all. Like I'll be going to Fufu Atlanta, like, because I'm hungry. So I just, want to encourage because I'm going to do this myself. I told Natasha a while back, I was like, I got to get on the land. We're having the garden party on April 12th. But what I'll try to do for y'all, okay, because Natasha, I want you to show them the land in one of the clips so we can share it. But yes, but what I'll show them, and we're about to get out of here, y'all. So make sure you guys connect with Natasha. She gave you a little bit of information, okay, that you can connect with her on. But just make sure that you follow her, follow back on this live stream too, because we're going to be learning how to really grow our own foods. And Natasha has some real connections out there that's going to not only give you an opportunity to sustain your health and your wellness, but also to learn about land living. Right. A lot of us need
Absolutely.
to understand what that looks like. So we'll have some further conversation about that at the meetup. Before we get out of here, Natasha, because I forgot what I was going to ask you. I'm going to go ahead and chime that back because we got some more stuff we can bring y'all at the meetup. So make sure you guys register. What words of wisdom would you like to leave them with today, Natasha?
Um, just live your life in gratitude. Be in gratitude for all moments. Like I said, your journey is going to look and feel all kinds of ways. In the present moment, you're going to find your gift. And every moment, just remain present and bring yourself back. Just breathe. If you find yourself overthinking things and taking a deep dive in your brain, just bring yourself present. Start breathing. Do a box breathing. You breathe in 4, hold 4, release 4, pause 4. And that's a box breathing. Just to bring yourself back present again. So, and that's it. Always in gratitude. Always in
I love
gratitude.
it. I love it. All right. Well, Natasha's going to get out of here. You guys make sure you connect with her. And we're going to come back with another speaker tomorrow at 4 p.m. I believe it's Nikki Tate is going to be coming on. So we're going to be talking some more about the amazing things that we're going to be doing at the meetup, y'all. Natasha, thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate you. We're going to end the live, you
Gratitude.
guys. Have an amazing night.
All right. You have a good
Bye.
one.